The most dangerous person in your life isn't the narcissist who screams for attention. It's the one who understands your pain perfectly and uses that understanding to control you. Picture someone who remembers your worst memory, brings it up at exactly the right moment, not to comfort you, but to win an argument. They cry with you one night and calmly dismantle your self-esteem the next morning. You leave every conversation confused about who's actually hurting who. That's not a narcissist. Narcissists are easy to spot. They're loud, self-obsessed, allergic to blame. This is something else. Something that wears empathy like a weapon and is much harder to name. Researchers have a name for this: the Dark Empath. A 2021 study out of Nottingham Trent University, led by psychologist Nadia Haim, identified a subgroup of people who score high on the dark triad traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, but also score high on cognitive empathy. That combination is the whole problem. Cognitive empathy means understanding what someone feels. Affective empathy means actually feeling it with them. Most empathetic people have both. Dark empaths have the first without the second. They can read your emotional state with precision. They just don't care about it the way a normal person would. To them, your feelings are data. Useful data. Subpoint 1. They use insight as a targeting system. A regular manipulator guesses at what might hurt you. A dark empath knows. They've listened. They remember the divorce, the insecurity about your job, the thing you said you're ashamed of, and they file it away, not for connection, but for later use. In an argument, that stored information doesn't come out as comfort. It comes out as leverage, dropped in at the exact moment it will land hardest. Subpoint 2. They don't look like villains. Haim's research and follow-up commentary from clinicians describe dark empaths as often warm, likable, even magnetic in social settings. That's what makes them so hard to flag. The behavior contradicts every mental checklist people use to spot toxic. You're taught to watch for coldness, for obvious selfishness, for someone who never asks how you're doing. This is the opposite of cold. It's attentive. It's specific. It's the kind of attention that, in anyone else, would read as care. Subpoint 3. The confusion is the strategy. Because they show real emotional intelligence sometimes, genuine warmth, real comfort, real listening, the manipulative moments get explained away. Your brain fills the gap. They didn't mean it. They're just stressed. They clearly understand me. So surely this is a misunderstanding. Psychologists who study manipulation call this kind of internal negotiation a trust override. You're using evidence of their empathy to excuse behavior that isn't empathetic at all. The better they are at reading you, the more evidence they have on hand to make the override convincing. Subpoint 4. They recover faster than you do. After a manipulative moment, most people who feel guilt need time to sit with it. That discomfort is part of what keeps normal relationships honest. A dark empath, because the affective piece is missing, doesn't carry that same drag. They can pivot back to warmth almost immediately. No visible processing, no lingering tension on their end. To you, that reads as maturity. They let it go so easily. What it often is the absence of the guilt that would have made letting go difficult in the first place. The turn/reveal. Here's the part that should actually worry you. This isn't just a relationship pattern. It's a hiring advantage. The same traits that make a dark empath dangerous in a relationship, reading people accurately, saying the right thing at the right time, appearing deeply likable, are the exact traits that get people promoted into leadership. Some organizational psychologists have pointed to dark empath tendencies as an underexamined risk in corporate management and political leadership specifically because charm and read-the-room skill are mistaken for trustworthiness during interviews and evaluations. Traditional dark triad screening, designed to catch obvious narcissists, often misses these people entirely because on paper and in person, They present as exceptionally emotionally intelligent. Think about how most workplace trust gets built. Someone remembers your kid's name, asks about your weekend, notices when you're stressed before you say anything. Normally, that's a green flag. It's supposed to mean someone is safe to work for. But it's also exactly the skill set this personality type runs on. And once that person has influence over your role, your reviews, or your reputation, the same targeting by inside from a relationship plays out at scale, just with a paycheck attached instead of a partner. So the trait that makes them dangerous to date is the same trait that makes them promotable. That's not a coincidence. It's a blind spot built into how we evaluate trust in general. We equate understands me with cares about me. One is a skill, the other is a choice. They don't always come together. Protection/payoff. You can't outread a dark empath, but you can stop grading them on intent and start grading them on pattern. Ask one question. When they clearly understand how something will make you feel, do they adjust or do they proceed anyway? Empathy that doesn't change behavior isn't empathy. It's surveillance. Track it in writing if you have to. Not to build a case against someone. To stop your memory from getting rewritten in the moment by someone who's better at conversation than you are. 2 or 3 lines after a conversation that felt off is enough. What was said, how you felt, what they did next. And give yourself permission to distrust a pattern even when every individual moment feels explainable. A single incident always sounds reasonable when someone this good at reading people is the one explaining it to you. It's the repetition across weeks and months that tells the truth, not any one apology, however sincere it sounds in the moment. Consistency of impact matters more than sincerity of apology. So the scariest person in the room usually isn't the one who can't read you. It's the one who reads you perfectly and chooses what to do with it. Narcissists show you who they are almost immediately. Dark empaths make you doubt what you saw, sometimes for years. Here's the uncomfortable part to sit with. You've probably met one. Maybe more than one. Not every emotionally intelligent person in your life is dangerous. Most aren't. But the ones who are will never look like the villain you were warned about. They'll look like the person who finally seemed to understand you. Have you ever dealt with someone like this? Someone who understood you but still hurt you? Tell me in the comments which sign hit closest to home. And subscribe. This is exactly the kind of pattern we break down every week.